Welcome back, everybody. It's Ask the Expert with Doyle and Salewski, Brian Doyle, Paul Salewski here this morning. And we've got Barry on the telephone. Barry, how are you today?
Doing very good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. What's your question this morning?
Well, I wanted to ask the Doyle Group. I'm 57 years old. I'm going to retire in 3 years. I have a mortgage remaining on my house. The balance is around $60,000. I have a line of credit of that I can pay my mortgage off and finish it. And is it wise to do that now, or should I wait until I retire to do it? What are the advantages or maybe disadvantages of doing that?
Gotcha.
Well, I think the first consideration is what is the interest rate on the line of credit and what is the interest rate on the mortgage, and if the interest rate on the mortgage is less than the line of credit, why would you do it? If it's more, well, it makes sense. But a lot of times when you get out of a mortgage, there are penalties in getting out. So sometimes the cost of doing that has got to be factored in. But if it's, you got to do the calculation. What's it going to cost me to get out? What am I going to save? What are my payments going to be? You do the math.
Yeah. Are you just borrowing money from Peter to pay Paul here?
Exactly, and best to see a mortgage specialist because there's nuances in the mortgage documents that may make sense.
Yeah.
And versus the whole debt situation for the individual should be visited because clearly the lowest cost debt instrument is a house mortgage.
Really?
Really.
Yeah, that's your lowest interest rates and so on. So unless it was significantly lower, it really wouldn't make sense, especially when you consider penalties and things.
The other thing you might be able to do is look at your mortgage document and see if you can make extra payments. If you can make extra payments, that might make sense if you do that with no cost.
Get out of it quicker, and you're still not...
and there's other prepayment options in there. So that's why you should see a mortgage specialist, and they can advise you.
And I think that probably the reason that Barry has a larger line of credit is because he's almost got his house paid off.
Yes.
So it's the same thing either way, really.
That's right.
You take a look at it. All right. We've got an email question. Let's see that. This is from Rada. Rada sent in this. We are very unhappy with our RSPs. I would like to move them to a simple account like saving or GIC. We're in our senior years now. How can we do this? Move.
Well, once again, they're going to have to talk to their investment counselors about that. A lot of RSPs have penalties to get out. You can certainly transfer an RSP from one RSP instrument to another, so that's possible. But as I said before, a lot of mutual funds are back-end loaded, which means they charge you a lot of money to get out of it.
To get out of it.
So really, their investment advisor is the best person they can speak to. They know what accounts they have and what they do have.
But you can put, I personally have a fair amount in GICs, and you would want to do that to keep it safe, especially in today's turbulent times.
Yeah.
And there should be no penalties to move from certain plans to GICs.
No, but in many cases there are.
Well, the penalties are the redemption costs you pay.
Yeah. Okay, do we have another question? Oh, we don't. I wanted to check on this. With the recent downturn in the stock market and so on, and a lot of people have set their retirement on their investments. People should really keep an eye on this, and how do you go about that? Do you wait this out, or
A lot of that's going to be dependent, I would think, on how old the person is. If you're imminently going to retire, well, you've got a bigger problem because the money you now have is a lot less than what you thought you had. If you're 35 years old, well, you'll probably ride it out and see what's going to happen over the years.
Yeah. The older you are, the less you should be gambling on the stock market, period.
Yeah, it sure seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately, we're not happy with the results. We're not happy with our nest eggs. So what do? It's a conundrum.
Yeah.
But as I mentioned to you during the break, David Chilton of The Wealthy Barber just wrote his second book
for seniors.
And I'm gonna look forward to reading that.
Okay. Speaking of books, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Speaking of books, many of you who called in or wrote in today will receive a copy of the book you brought along, the Copper Jar System, which we should all have a look at, apparently. Doyle Salewski here for Ask the Expert. Thank you both for being here. Good to see you. We'll be back with more of CTV Morning Live just about 20 minutes before 10 o'clock.